Well, greetings everyone. Just taking some photos right now. I'm going to be putting some things on the store site for clearance. Let's see. Angling the camera. Where can I keep my phone? Okay, good. Well, anyways, I'm currently in the process of disassembling the VSS here. It's taking time because trying to keep things organized. Um, so I'm putting things into bags and things like that. I got a bunch of stuff like this that need to get packed away so I can use them later. I got a bunch of things that I no longer need. I'm not going to take with me. Things like this that make great little greebles for projects. Things that can be put on a wall. And other items can be placed on it. Something, something that's not too flat or something. It's an actual structure, an actual object. Um, yeah, so I got a lot of props that need to get put away. I've been putting a lot of the floors and things that I have here. Can't show that one. A lot of floors and stuff here into little bags. Already this, you can't really see, huh? So this is already set up with a bunch of floors in there. And that's just the top layer that was here. So, probably maybe one or two more bags like this for everything. I got larger floor tiles. Instead of being, half the size like that, it's got a big one like this. So these can cover a lot of space. So there's a number of custom floors that I kind of designed to kind of fit into the dimensions of the VSS. Other little items that need to get packed away, a bunch of can't really see it too well with the light glare, but with the gleam. But basically these things here is what forms the structures for stuff like this. Not specifically these. I can show right here. Nothing is glued, so I can't just grab it because then things will just fall. So, stuff like this, that's what these things here build. And you can see with the stringies, they came basically right off the printer, unclean. So I gotta snip them off. So, little things like this can be placed up as standalone items for a diorama. More complete is something like this. I'm not putting everything correctly in place, but stuff like that. Anyway, so I have to throw this away. Yeah, that's about to fall. Yeah, the nice thing about working with plastic is that it's not as brittle as resin. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm currently taking apart things. So I think I'm going to put these things up on the clearance because they're useful products. They can be put on the wall or on the floor. You could put a walkway on top. Just some sort of structure. Same thing with this. If you have a joy toy system, you can Basically put it on something like that, make some sort of table, walkway or something. Originally, that was a supporting frame for a walkway that I was doing. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. I'm just trying to take apart as much of the VSS, talk about the VSS, things like that. I need to get another bag. Hold on for a second. So this stream is probably going to be about an hour's time, because what I got to do after this is run to Home Depot, run to Costco, and go somewhere else. I don't remember what. Oh yeah, pick up some items, take with me on the upcoming trip. So it's going to be a busy day. I don't think I'm going to try to do a stream at night anymore, because the lighting in this room is a lot less than what it was, let's say, about a year ago. So I've been moving things around, trying to get lighting for the VSS using the flame lights. Like here's the flame lights. These you can kind of, well, you don't really see the color, but there's those those torch lights that kind of flicker with an LED flame. That's what those are. I was in the process of changing the room here, so things would have more of a warmer feel. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I gotta continue with this. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the VSS itself. What I am thinking about doing, yeah, you can see this structure. I don't have anything. I don't have anything glued. So all this is just, just a tight fit. These are unique sized parts. I gotta label them, put them in the proper bags. I suppose. Yeah, this goes into different. I have a number of different floor tiles, different sizes, because the VSS itself wasn't designed for Joy-Toy dimensions. So there's little differences I gotta make up for with unique, like you can see here. One size, this size is a different size. Just a little bit longer. Same width. I have a bag already for these. So I figure once I get the VSS on the inside disassembled, then I'll have better direction of what to do with the MDF wood part. I am really running out of time in terms of breaking things down. That's really is my biggest thing right now, time. I have 1 week, and then I have about a month after, and so everything basically has to be done in about 3 weeks, including this week. because there's a lot more for me to get rid of. This is just the VSS, but I got several rooms of condo type stuff to get rid of. Oh, this is an interesting one. Let me put this here. So yeah, so this is let me move these out of the way. You know, a lot of this stuff here makes for a nice little diorama standalone thing, you know. Something like this. You know, just a figure standing, you know, little console, something like that. You know, it's got enough attachments to you can put LED lights or other things on there, other types of stuff on there. This is not your, you know, typical, you know, Joy Toy looking thing. It's different. This is, you know, a lot of custom type things. So got to take apart these. You know, and my technique of 3D printing, you know, something like this is very, very thin, you know, but it's also very rigid. You know, it's not going to bend very easily. So that's another good thing about, you know, about using the filament type printers. If you know what you're doing, and I kind of think I do, but if you know what you're doing, you can really take advantage of the printers, the different kinds of printers, the resins, the filament ones, and you can design so you avoid their weaknesses and you just capitalize on their strengths. And, you know, different brands, different makers of different printers have different approaches on how they go about designing their software, designing their system itself. So even though the technology is the same in the sense of using a resin and using, you know, UV light or some other thing to cure that resin, or you got plastic and you're heating up the plastic, you know, all these things, you know, have some commonness to it, but they are also each a little bit different, a little bit unique. For example, filaments. Okay, different makers. They do different formulations on their filaments. So not all filaments are manufactured equally. Some have, you know, better quality. Others do not. Others have certain things added to make the filament flow in the printers smoother, so that improves the quality. And others just go for the price point, so they're like dirt cheap. But, you know, some of those don't tend to last very well in certain environments, you know, like humid environments, because, you know, plastics can absorb water depending on what kind of plastics they are. So like many filaments, if you just keep them in the bag, you know, you open up a brand new bag, you might find that the filaments that were new are cracking, even though you haven't used any yet. It's because, you know, filaments, the plastics to use, some of them absorb water, others are, you know, resist, but they still will absorb. And things change when they start to print. But before that, you know, anything can happen that changes the chemical properties really of the filament. So I have to use a knife to kind of take these apart. Just kind of work it out. So I have those there. Just work it out. Well, so my battle plan in terms of the VSS itself is I'm going to ship most of the contents to a friend And so that way, I'm not going to take the stuff with me right away. They're going to stay here. But with someone who can ship the components to me when I get settled over there in Thailand. So that way, once I set up a place, we don't know what place that'll be yet. Oh, something from the original Zombie Lab that I took to the JoeCon. Done on a MakerBot. There's actually just 200 micron resolution on this one, but no sanding, but it feels and looks very smooth. So MakerBots really had some very impressive quality to them. Anyway, yeah, so we're not quite sure yet. We have a place over there already, but really we really need a bigger place and a place that's a little bit more convenient. Because it's like this in Thailand. It's like this. The place is ultimately convenient, okay, but you do have to kind of know the ropes. Like everything there in terms of traffic in the main city, Bangkok, is going to be congested. Not all the time, but like rush hour, yeah, it's going to be congested. People take shortcuts. So, if you complain about traffic here in the U.S., ooh, over there, it's no comparisons. But so we're looking for a place that is closer to a subway and to what's called the SkyTrain. So the SkyTrain is basically a train system. I forget what it's called. It's not a true train. Metal wheels on rails. It's rubber tires. And but it's on a highway system that goes throughout the city. It's very convenient. It's almost like a subway. So like a subway that's above ground. And most of the places that you want to go to, if you're just visiting Thailand for, as a tourist, most of the places you want to go to is going to be easy access from the SkyTrain. And so, like most of the malls that you see on YouTube channels and things where people are showing the latest mall, this and that, most of them are easily accessible by the SkyTrain. Sometimes, though, the SkyTrain doesn't reach everywhere. You have to go to the SkyTrain station. So some places are easier to reach by a subway. So typically the way things can be is, you leave your condo, your house, whatever, you go to a subway that takes you to a SkyTrain station, and then from there you can go to a mall or just about anywhere else, even the airport. And but places that, well, as a tourist, if you're visiting there, I would say go to a hotel that's near a SkyTrain, and there's many that are very good hotels. And one thing I've noticed is that a lot of videos that you see about Thailand is, living in Thailand for like $1 a day or something like that, $50 a month or something like that, some ridiculously low price, and it gives the impression that Thailand is dirt cheap, and it's not. If you want to buy a Lamborghini, a Porsche, yeah, there's places that sell those, and there's people that buy them. If let's see, it goes here. You know, if you want cheap, yeah, there's places that will sell you cheap. If you want expensive, there's places that specialize in expensive. It's very, very mixed. It's not like it's all just, low price. You know, if you want quality, it's there. And so if you want convenience, it's there. So there's a lot of hotels that are just right off the SkyTrain station. I mean, you just exit the hotel and you're already on the walkway that the SkyTrain company has. And a lot of those places, these walkways, they go from like one station to another station. You can walk from one station to the other. In between are hotels, malls, restaurants, and things like that. So you go from one station to the other just walking. You can skip that station. You can go to the next one just walking. And it just repeats. There's another shopping mall. There's another group of hotels, restaurants. Holiday Inn is there. Continental hotels are there. I think Marriott's there. I'm not quite sure. Hilton's, is there. So all of the major hotels that you're familiar with in terms of names are going to be there. And of course, in the hotels and things, their English is the international language. So you can find communicating in the hotels very, very easy. In certain ways, using English is a little bit more easier in Thailand than in some other countries. Went to Japan, and my Japanese is not so good. So better just try to struggle with English and hope someone understands. But the thing is that I think English can be intimidating for some people out there, but it's not so much in Thailand. It's different. I got two sizes of these tiles here. I'll have to, just slightly different. I'll have to, I'm just going to bag them in one bag and worry about them later. I just got to move things out of the way right now. A lot of these little bitty props, they're just, just annoying me right now because they're in my way. They're too delicate. So everything is about organization at this point. I'm looking for a bag that I had last night. This is what annoys me, is that I am running out of space. Oh, here they are. Running out of space, so I'm putting things down, and then when I need them, they're, like, I have to look for them each and every time. So anyway, so the battle plan is that, we got to find a bigger place over there that's a little bit more convenient. Because, okay, the other thing about transportation in Thailand, in Bangkok, they have a lot of taxis and Uber type stuff. I don't think they have Lyft, but they have Uber. I believe they have one called Grab, which is very convenient. Anyways, thing is that they all work the same. Use a phone app to schedule a pickup, and that's convenient. Taxis are just about everywhere. Now the taxis, the drivers, they don't have to take you. You can flag them down. You tell them where you want to go before you get into the taxi, and they'll say yes or no. Because it might be that it's too inconvenient for them to struggle through traffic, so they may refuse you. Or, for example, maybe they want to target some tourist or something. And so they're looking for bigger fish, not you. They're looking for, a group of people, a group of foreigners, things like that. So all these things you have to take into consideration for convenience when you want to live there. So there's a few places that we see that could be useful, near a subway, near a SkyTrain, places that if we can bypass the taxi, we'll do pretty good. No taxi cost, no expenses for that. But a lot of those places are really expensive. And since we're doing Dire Warriors over there, we need to also have finances set up for that too. You can't just all go into a condo or something like that. So, what I'm thinking about doing is making like a YouTube channel or something like that of my life over there, and kind of compare and contrast what we experience. So I'm just taking apart these things one after the other. Try to make it a little bit entertaining, but maybe I can. I think the tripod is basically at its height. No, I can extend the legs some. Yeah, let me extend the legs on the tripod, so that way the camera can look a bit more down. Yeah, so let me see. I hope it doesn't like. I've got headphones. Okay, this is the farthest that the legs will go. Let's see. Try to angle this. Yeah, you can see a little bit better now, I think. Try to lock all of the items in the tripod. Okay. Try to extend the legs a little bit. Lock the legs. Okay. So how is that? Okay, so anyways, so back to this. So I think I glued these together. Yeah, I think I glued these together. Oh, no. I did not glue them. They're just really tightly put in. So good. It's one thing that I've been trying to do with the VSS is stay away from gluing the pieces, to make things fit, just design it so it's really tight. I found like a very slight offset in the print will make for a very, very tight fit. Oh, I need my knife. I don't want to break the pegs that are inside, because I want to use these again. Okay. Voila. So you can see that I designed these with, you can always put a screw inside these little grooves here, but I designed these with hex holes there to put a nut, and you can put a screw right through, and you can just screw the things together instead of relying on friction, from being very tight. Now let's see, I'm going to need a bag for this, a bag for that, and a bag for that. 3 bags. 3 bags. Well, so I'm going to need more than 3 bags. I got the floor grates to deal with. Let's see. I'm going to use this bag for. Okay, well, let me explain a little bit. Can't really see too well, but here's a window on the VSS. Okay, it's a doorway with a hatch, but the way I started to design this thing is that it would have been a doorway that led out into a corridor that would travel here. The corridor itself would have battle stations, so I could, highlight consoles for the battle station, also the weapon systems, and so it would have had, a long corridor. Since this is only half the length of the VSS, it would have gone, 4 feet more that way. So I started to do like a frame, something that's removable that I could put greebles. So when I put a camera, it's like I'm looking into a tight, structure, like the crew is in some sort of, submarine, in the sense that it's all crowded with machinery. So when I started to design this VSS, I took it from the point of view like, if you want to have a livable spacecraft out there, something that, Cobra itself would be proud to use, what would be the mentality? A powerful engine, I thought. So a powerful, engine source, because that will power everything else, from the thrusters to life support, to all the things that the crew would need and so forth. So, you'll have to have machinery that goes from the engine room all the way. So basically, the crew is living inside of a machine. And so that was the approach that I started to do with this VSS. And then when I started to do more with it, I started to realize that, yeah, the crew is really relying on technology, everything to keep them alive. So got an itch. Yeah, so the crew's relying on everything to keep them alive, relying on technology. So basically, the crews or basically is just going to be subservient to the technology of the ship. That's their little world. They have no other option when they're out in space. And so everything has to be, designed very good for them. Power source has to be very strong. They have to have backup systems. They have to have fire suppression. They have to have everything that they need to survive. Including manufacturing. So part of the design for this VSS is to take advantage of the size. So it's a large maintenance bay here. To maximize the size, I went and decided to make it double the height. So basically 300 millimeters tall. So it would have been the ceiling would have been about up to here. So that way there's 2 levels. All across, that would have just been easier to design. And so with that, I could put all kinds of different props. Crew quarters, offices, radar rooms, sensor rooms, maintenance. They had to have storage for parts. And in terms of, real practical stuff, space for storage would have been great because, I can print extra of these things. And then instead of putting it into some drawer somewhere in the room, why not just design a little bin or something like that where these things can stay within the VSS itself? And that will just add to the realism that I'm trying to do. So every room would have had, an emergency first aid station. I designed some bins for that purpose. The VSS, this one would have had a brig for prisoners, but the brig would have been outside. The logic being that if the prisoners rioted and started to break out, instead of having prisoners, roaming rampant inside your ship, you can disconnect the brig from outside, just disconnect it, and the prisoners are basically trapped. And then you can do whatever you want to recapture, destroy, whatever that brig. Let's see. I started to use aluminum straws for support. Because, they can bend kind of easy, but it's stronger than the plastics, for this. And I can put these inside the plastics. So then you have a structure like this. And this takes a lot of weight compressing it. And it's very strong, and you can get filament that is engineering quality type, they'll call it. Meaning that it's not your typical PLA or ABS or something like that, but it's very strong plastics that resists breaking, shearing, things like that. I have a bunch of miscellaneous now, a bunch of these little things I got to put somewhere. I think I'm just going to use a bag for all of these aluminum straws. So when I designed this with the aluminum straws, it's got texturing on the inside, those little patterns. The idea is that I could put, if I need more strength, put epoxy. And then since it has recesses like this and ports for attaching screws, I can print a cover so you don't see the epoxy. So I could put very strong epoxy putty in there, and that would add more strength to it. Because at the end of the day, this is only one deck. Okay, there's going to be another deck, or there would have been another deck on top. Actually, this is the middle, so it would have been another deck below, and then there will be the flight deck on top, and then whatever other structures on top. The weight of all the prints on the inside, the weight of figures, the weight of vehicles, the weight of all these other things. So how much does this weigh? What? I don't think it was 70 pounds, but let's just say 50 pounds. When you start adding vehicles and things like that, the pounds begin to add up. So then the VSS is going to get very heavy on the top, so it's going to be pushing down a lot on these prints. So I got aluminum rails to help with that, and so these prints with the aluminum straws would have. Is it aluminum straws or stainless steel straws? I don't remember. But anyway, I put away my magnets and stuff. But anyway, these straws themselves would have. I think these are too long. These straws themselves, would add strength. But there's other things. So I started to put these straws around, and I started to think that, hey, I can dress them up for other projects. Remember back a long time ago, if you grew up in the 80s, you may have come across Tinker Toys. You know, a bunch of wood toys, a few plastics. We had wooden dowels you would put into a wooden thing with holes, and you can make these, spidery looking spindles and things. This is kind of like a modern day Tinker Toy. You know, you put this with some 3D printed item and you can go in a different direction. So you can actually make a nice little structure, something that looks like, with trusses and things like that, joisting. It'd be easier if I can just put everything into one bag and just, have a mix. But if someone is going to be holding this for me, I would like to say, please send me, bag number 2, bag number 5, that kind of thing, and I'll get what I need. Okay, I'll just move these out of the way. So let's see. So anyway, back to the condo type stuff. And look for the other bag. See, where did I put the bag for this? These little bitty. Oh, no. Man. Oh, here they are. Okay. So back to the condo type stuff. So we're looking for a bigger place, something more convenient, and something that gives us better access to transportation. And so once we get that squared away, then we'll see about what we do about Dire Warriors itself. There's a lot of a big future for Dire Warriors, really. So even though this chapter of Dire Warriors is changing ahead of schedule, it is still was within our plans. So this is not like, big disaster. Oh, Dire Warriors is closing down, shutting down. It's a change of location. We have to get ourselves reestablished over there, and then we'll see, what we can do to get back into the manufacturing. But what people may not realize is that this is this. Okay. What people may not realize is that we really designed Dire Warriors for stuff like this in mind. So I got a lot of these things I got to figure out. So this is not like it's an inconvenience, a big inconvenience right now, because we were not planning this type of move until like maybe several years from now. Let me take a look at the comments. If anyone's asking any questions, I want to be able to answer. Okay, nothing via YouTube. How about through Facebook? Any comments there? I guess I need to refresh my Facebook. Okay. I got some. I've been taking photos of items that's going to be on the discontinued list. Let's see. Got to get another tab. Check the comment section in the Dire Warrior store. Dire Warrior store. Okay. Do I need to make a comment in the Dire Warriors group? There might be people there doing their photos and things. Maybe they're curious. Let me just see real fast. The color scheme is brown. Oh, hey, some good pictures there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting a little distracted. Sorry about that. Let's see. I guess maybe I should link to YouTube. Let me get the YouTube link. What do I call myself? Anyway, if someone can get me a link to Dive Warriors on YouTube, that'd be great. Do I go to my channel? No, I'm logged in as something else. Uh, Dive Warriors search. Let me just search. Dive Warriors TV. Is that it? Yeah, Dive Warriors TV. Okay. Sorry, I got lots of things on my mind. It's kind of crazy right now. Live stream. Let me just that. Okay, I clicked copy. Die Warriors. Doc. Okay, let's see. Doing a live stream. Live stream. Post. Okay. Come on, post. Okay. So anyway, so back to this. Oh yeah. So I really need to get this done this weekend so I can kind of clear out the table and I can have access to the rest of the room so I can start throwing things away. There's a lot of stuff that needs to get thrown away, but you know some of these things are kind of precious to me still. Basically, everything that I print and put for the store is precious to me. You know, it represents literally time, sweat, worries, and things like that. Uh, but so it's one thing. I'm putting it on the clearance, hoping that people can filter it out for me real fast. Get it off my hands, and it goes to a good home. I do have things that I want to take photos of over there that that need to go on clearance. I don't know which items though. Some of them are just going to be transferred to a box so I can kind of ship it out later at a later date. Some of them is just going to be thrown away. Let's see. Okay, this is a different size. So this here. Okay. Let's see. What else can I say about these things? Oh yeah, maybe I can be a little bit more positive and mention about some benefits of being in Thailand. So Thailand itself is quite quite advanced. It's not Japan or something like that. So, but there's a lot of things that is done really well over there on the convenience side. Um, they rely heavily on delivery these days, ever since COVID. So just about everything you want can be ordered online. There's these apps that they use. It's not like you have to have 50,000 apps on your phone. One for here, one for here, one for here. Nothing like that. It's like the Amazon app where Amazon has multiple categories. They have at least two main apps that people use like that with multiple categories, even food. So, hold on for a second. Let's see. Hold on for a second. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So there's a lot of convenience that are there. So even if you don't speak the language, and that's basically me, I just know a few words here and there, and it's a tonal language. So if you're familiar with Chinese or something, it's similar in the sense of using tones. So it takes practice and it takes a bit of confidence, because at first you're going to look like a fool trying to pronounce something, and and of course, there's no way to get around that. Every language is the same like that. It takes practice before you can start sounding good. So anyways, with these apps and stuff, you can order just about anything. Food, even Western foods, like from chains that you see here in the US, McDonald's, Burger King, there's even Taco Bell. These things can be ordered and delivered, depending how far they are from where you live. For example, a Starbucks, took less than 11 minutes to order a Starbucks drink. I believe it was 2 drinks. Less than 11 minutes from when we ordered to when it was delivered. And Starbucks itself cost about the same as here in the US, but the delivery was just like less than $1, and I don't think it's a tipping culture, but if you want to tip, which I do, no one's going to complain. No one's going to complain if you want to give them money. So, but the delivery, is basically done on small motorcycles, scooters, basically, and whether it's raining or it's hot or 3 a.m, you can get your delivery. It's always a good thing to tip the driver and stuff like that, because when you think about it, driving on a small scooter in the rain, they're putting their lives on the line, because it's traffic, slippery, anything can go wrong, and they're just trying to get you a drink. So I always tip, no matter if it's just a simple thing or not. At the end of the day, they're really doing you a favor in a way, because if you were to order something like that here, the delivery is not going to be less than $1. So here in Florida, there is there's the delivery services that places do have, but it's almost twice as much as what you order. It's like ordering something from Chick-fil-A and have it delivered. You're looking at around, $10, $15, even $20 more, depending on time and things like that. It really raises the cost. And we noticed that recently the costs here have been rising a lot. So the US is getting more expensive. And but over there, if you can be paid in, let's say, American currency, that kind of thing, the value, oh gosh, you can live extremely well. So there's a lot of benefit for that. And that's one reason why I notice a lot of people that I do know that do own successful businesses, one of the first things that they do is go to like Thailand or so, get established, build up their everything for their business, and then next thing you know, they're doing business internationally and things like that. Everyone that I know that does something like that talks of success. Of course, it's not always that. In reality, there's always going to be failure. But But so far, I haven't come across anyone personally that has failed. But common sense is that, yeah, there will be that. Of course, no one likes to talk about their failures, so that's another thing. Okay, so this goes here. Let's see, close the knife. I think I need a bag for these things here. Let me go get a bag for that. So about the clearance items, I'm taking photos today of the items that I have as prototypes. I got 3 that I just took before making this video. I uploaded them to my Facebook account, and then I'm going to just put them into the store as is. And I'll put them in the clearance in the store. Yeah, check out these, I don't want to take apart the lighting yet because I need to see. Custom sizes here. Oh. I have to throw away this. This was styrene sheets, that I just painted black underneath and then painted with titanium, and then just do some laser cut just a little bit to kind of etch away the titanium. But it's just a simple styrene sheet. I can't use it. But as I was explaining a little bit yesterday, the reason why I was using like bright surfaces like aluminum, acrylics, or styrene that's been painted with something shiny like titanium is that it plays well with lights. And on photos on something like this, it helps if you can provide the audience with some sort of light candy for them to look at, and come on. So everything that I was doing for the VSX here was to maximize how things look in a photo. So trying to put floors with floor grate, so that way light can go through, and then you get interesting shadows underneath. One reason why they are removable is not just for the playability, but also you can remove this, put something else that will give an interesting shadow effect, material, whatever. And underneath, we can change the overall mood. Okay, I gotta put these over here. I think I have more of these parts, but I don't see them at the moment. Let me undo some of these aluminum pieces. Put them in the bag. Oh, so as I'm thinking of it, it's not necessarily Thailand in general about all of these conveniences. It's Bangkok in general, I think. And I say that mostly because I haven't really traveled all around Thailand very much to really know how the rest of the country is. Just a few places. But Bangkok itself, yeah, very, very convenient. I really want to get all the floors done, because then I can just start putting away the this thing, which is going to take a while. The engine room under here, and I'll have to unscrew a lot of stuff. I need another bag. I need to label these, but I'll do this later when I bring up the CAD program with file names. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the VSS itself, the future of this VSS. I think I'm going to need 2 bags for this. Yeah, well, maybe not. I think I got all of these. Yeah, I think I got all of these. Right, there might be a few, like, laying around, but I think I got all of these here. I think this is enough bag that can fit additional stuff, additional floor tiles, floor plates. Let me get another bag for that. Get it back. I'm running out of my big bags. I'll have to go to the storage room and get more. Or the storage room. That one itself, I'm going to need a lot of time to clear out. Okay, that's there, that's there. These. Okay, so these here. I think I'm going to put this. I'm not 100% sure at the moment. I think I'm going to put this item on clearance. It was a prototype. We'll see. It's that it's kind of unfinished. It's not glued, so that's why I'm holding it like this. It's unfinished because I was going to design something where this could be like clipped on or just glued on, that kind of thing. And the doors were going to have a door stop so they won't just go inside. And then I got a hold of small magnets, and I was thinking, oh, great, I can use the small magnets for it. But now no time. It's all with some nice acrylic. It could be any kind of structure, some sort of utility closet. It could be to store a spacesuit. It could be to store a machine, something. So yeah, so I'm going to have to work on that. Maybe it'll be on clearance. Maybe I'll just work on it later. I don't know. A lot of this stuff I didn't intend to be on clearance. I intended to, produce for selling, and so I was going to think of a cost later and all that, but don't have the time. Okay, so this I need another bag. Maybe I can use this bag. This is my next largest bag. Put this here. Try to be organized with it. Let's see if there's any comments, in case anyone is asking any questions. Maybe I need to refresh the page. Okay. Let's see. I took some photos of each room, not very well, but I took some photos. I'm going to be relying more on, they call it, on my CAD assemblies to indicate these parts. But the future of this particular VSS 002, then most likely I'm going to end up redoing it. But being in Thailand, that I won't be able to bring something so heavy as the MDF wood, that I probably will reproduce the VSS, but done in like foam board. So I demonstrated a little bit yesterday that I have some foam with some 3D printed frames around to give it strength. I can use something stronger than foam board. There's something called future board. It's kind of like corrugated plastic in between two sheets of plastic, and I can put that in a frame to get rid of the line look, because they tend to have a little bit of lines done because of the corrugated layer. I could put styrene sheets, and that will give the impression of. I don't think I could put any more items in this. This bag is getting kind of tight. Let me see. I'll have to label those later. Making kind of like the mistake of. Well, be right back. Let me get another bag. Oh, I have a lot of stuff that I got two of these like Foot Locker type bins, and they have various Die Warriors props in various stages of completeness. Some are just partly completed, others are just multiples. Let's say, for example, laser cut displays, like 20 of them in one bag, that kind of thing. 20 of one type of display, another bag with another 20 of another kind of display, things like that. The idea is that, when I'm doing the laser cutting, I'm doing extra as well. So when I do the rest of the prop, I have inventory of these parts. And a few months ago, I was cleaning up an area, and I was coming across these extra parts, and so I was putting them into the Foot Locker, and now it's I got 2 Foot Lockers filled with things like that. Some of them are just miscellaneous bags because I had things that were in the process of being printed but not complete. So some of those were just to help me on the cleanup, just put aside. They went into a small box, mix of things, and then from there into a bag, big like this, and then put into the Foot Locker for later. Okay, I need to work on this area here so I can get access to what's inside. where do these go? This one goes there. This one goes there. This one goes here. Okay. So, instead of doing glue, I started to use a lot of Allen screws. So let me disassemble that. Why is my laptop fan going loud? You could probably hear it on the microphone. Maybe I need to kill off some of these tabs that I have in Die Warrior Store. Okay. Let me just keep that. Let me see. I closed off one tab. Okay, well. Yeah, this one's going to be. Gotta undo this. There's a poster for the screws. Yeah. So I found, that for these structures, it makes better sense, I think, to treat a structure like the VSS like a large erector set. So instead of trying to design plastics that slip into other plastics with a tab or a groove, those things work well for injection molded parts. But for 3D printing, with the layer lines and things like that, I think it makes better sense to rely on. I need a better screwdriver. I got an Allen screw. Let me just try this. I got an Allen wrench somewhere. Yeah, so I'm going to have to take tools with me to Thailand. The stuff that I use that I find very useful for working with these prints, those things have to come. They cannot stay because I rely on them. So a structure like this is easier to assemble using screws, kind of like an erector set. And if you design it where screws are, common, basically anyone can just run to the hardware store or, Amazon or some other app, depending on, the country and all that, and they can get the material needed to assemble. Keep everything standard, instead of proprietary. I feel like there's a nut that got stuck somewhere, but I don't see it, so okay, good. Okay, 2 screws here. I can tell you, I really enjoy 3D printing. I enjoy doing it with resin also. And, years ago, especially, with Die Warriors, we experimented doing a hybrid where the filament printer would do, something for strength, and then we'll just decorate the surface of that with resin prints for the high resolution. It worked well, but thing is that I think resin prints better when it's more thick. When you start to have very, very thin pieces of resin, they tend to want to warp, whether from the printer, because resin printers tend to have a plate. They tend to build upside down. So there's a light source at the bottom, and then on top of that, there's the build plate that moves up and down. So every time it goes down, it dips into the vat of resin, not completely pressing flat, but just close enough that the surface is exposed to the UV light underneath. And so it goes up, allows the resin to kind of flow back into place, and then it comes down again, and then the light turns on, fuses that layer, goes back up, resin flows back into place, comes back down. So it goes over and over like that, layer by layer. And so, there's always the risk of a thin piece being pressed too much to the surface where it begins to warp. Or if the piece is thin enough, when it comes to the next stage, which is usually using some sort of bath, alcohol bath, soapy water bath, whatever, there's a chance that parts can get bent because the resin is still malleable. So you clean it up, get as much of the excess resin off and whatever other material off. Then you put it into a UV light for another bath, basically to kind of cure everything. And even there, things can get warped. The reason is that if things are drying, curing unevenly, let's say on one side, you have a light source here. Well, let's say you don't have a light source here, you have a light source here. So this side is getting cured at a faster rate than this side. So this side stays more malleable than this side, and it begins to get like this because, things contract. So it gets to get like that, And then you end up having a warped piece because it's so thin. So if you do it thicker, you can kind of, go against that. But with resin, it cures with UV light. So if it's a thicker piece, that means you got resin inside that still hasn't gotten that much UV light. So the interior of the resin may still be kind of wet with uncured resin. This is a useful piece. I need to put this somewhere. Where's this one going to go? I just have to put it here, I guess. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, I'm wearing the VSS shirt today. It's an awesome logo, I think designed by Victor Garcia or someone. But if you're unfamiliar, Victor Garcia created the VSS project. It's a very nice project that he did. Because if you like dioramas and doing dioramas, this is a self-contained diorama system right here. It's very open to however you want to do it. I need to be right back. I need to get a bigger bag for this, and I need to get bigger bags in general. Might take me a minute or two. Be right back. Okay, so I got a bunch of 6x10 bags here. This is not the big ones. Oh, they're bigger than that. I need the big ones. What are the big ones? Like 10 by 11, 11 by 11? I don't remember. But I need those. Every print you see represents hours. Not just the design. I'm just talking about only the printing part. It's, something like this. I can look at this and say this was probably around the 5-hour mark. Something like this, much more than that. This itself is about, the software said around 3-something hours. It was more like between 4 to 5, between there. I need a plastic bag for this. I don't find it at the moment. So anyways, okay, so this one I can kind of seal up right now. Oh gosh, I'm going to be hitting the post office next week, I guess. Okay, let's see. I guess I need to access it there. I guess temporarily I could put just something inside here. These type of beams, these things. These beams printed around 3 hours. I did like 2 at a time. I did it on a machine called the VoxLab, if I pronounce that right, Aries. It's a very good machine. I mean, I have not had not one problem with it. The first few prints wanted to kind of warp off the build plate, but that was easily solved by putting some hairspray. It's a glass build plate, and so it really worked really nice. It's a fairly new machine that I have. I don't really find people talking much about it, which is a shame because every print was reliable. I mean, if I were to recommend a printer for, let's say, an average person to do some printing with very little headache, it would be an Aries from VoxLab, VOX Lab, LAB. Or maybe it's VOXE LAB. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced. Oh gosh. Oh, that reminds me. I went to the storage room and here's a bunch of old prints that I found in the Die Warriors bag. So I got a bunch of these bags still if you want one. Yeah. But I have a bunch of old prints from years ago. They're done in yellow because if I remember, that was what I had at the time. These things have to go, and I'm going to put them on in the clearance as like one bulk. So if you want a bunch of background structures, you don't have to clean it up yourself. But, these things were being designed as some sort of background machinery. For example, something like this. Background machinery. move that out of the way. I think this is oh, I haven't seen this in years. It's for like an acrylic display. What other things I got here? Oh, stuff for piping. You know, it's got some cleanup, but then you put it together. It's a pipe. Maybe I should sell this as a bag of miscellaneous. Piping stuff. Stuff like this I could actually use. Oh, maybe not. Stuff like this I could actually use for the VSS. I have to go through this too. Because, instead of reprinting it, it's right here. Oh, look, a dolly. It was part for a dolly. More piping. All they have to do is just be sanded down a bit and spray painted. Yeah. I think this was for a can kit. Let me show you a can kit. Oh gosh, me? I don't know. That's it's not easy just to filter things out. It's easy if you just have to throw things away and you don't care. You just throw it away. That's easy. But if you're trying to, do like what I'm doing, just resettle, give things a good home, it takes time. It takes time. Here's a can. I can throw away these other cans. So this is a can kit. So the idea is you can use a regular can, put some 3D prints, and voila, you got yourself a prop that just needs to get painted. In this case, the can kit required additional things, walkway, railings, things like that, or something to stack another can kit on top. It works well. It just becomes part of another background prop. Can be dressed up some. A pipe can be attached to it. One of those that I just showed. The inner diameter, is for fitting this. And, those things can be put to another structure. That structure can go into something else, in another container, another pipe, another set of cans in a different orientation. And then you have an interesting background. You don't have to explain what that background is. It's just there. Okay. This is going to go to the, clearance, as is. This is a prototype. Parts are glued. Although this is kind of rocking, but parts are glued. I don't recommend pulling it apart. And it goes as is. If anyone wants to buy it, it'll be available. I have a bunch of these little structures. These are little, machinery props. They need to go as is also in clearance. I got a bunch of other items that need to go in clearance, like what you saw in that bag. But let's see. I need to get. I guess I'm going to use these larger bags for these types of things. Nah, that's just a waste. I need to put it into this. Yeah, I really need the bigger bags. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can locate them. Yeah, I'm trying not to think of it. Yeah, okay, let's see. Ah, yeah. I'm wearing flip-flops and I'm just stubbing my toe left and right. Okay, so these things, I'm getting a 9x12 bags. That's my largest, and I am getting those. Okay, that there. The kitchen is being cleaned up right now, so there's a bunch of trash bags there with empty shelves. I mean, my wife loves cooking, baking, things like that, and so we have a kitchen with a lot of you know, besides pots and pans, bottles of all kinds of ingredients and things like that. And unfortunately, everything has to go. So what helps right now is I'm not thinking about consequences, throwing away tossing away memories and things like that. I'm just thinking about, the move. It helps to have the stream because I can just talk about this and keeps my mind from thinking anything else. I have to clear out these. It's not a very pretty sight, but yeah, I'm going to keep these, I think. I did some gluing with it. These were done with a printer, an Ender 5 over there in Thailand. Not bad, but I kind of wonder about the Creality filament because I noticed it's not quite good quality compared to Overture. It's certainly not compared to a Polymaker filament. It caught my attention because it was doing something strange when I was making a drill hole into here.
You don't have it.
Oh, we don't have it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks, Nara. This is easier to get, I guess.
You don't have it.
No, this is easier to get. Store.
Open.
Oh, well.
Use it if you need.
Supermarkets will have this.
We got a lot from Costco.
Okay. Yeah, this will work. So we don't have the 9x12, so I got to use Ziploc. At least it has a label. I can write on it. Maybe I can put those other items in here. And it looks like this one can hold more. So I'll put this over here because I guess I can take this as is. Put it into that. Yeah, just thinking. Okay. Yeah, the Creality filament is kind of strange. As I was drilling a hole in that prop, it was kind of like the fibers were separating. Okay, so this is the better. This was done with Polysmooth, which is a PVB plastic. The advantage is that it can be smoothed out with alcohol. So I'm going to, and everything is, if I remember correctly, everything is just like stuck on, pressed in, stuck on. But yeah. So I'm going to try to preserve these. I think today what I'm just going to do is just go to the local supermarket, get a few items, but I'll do the heavy shopping tomorrow. Stuff that will take me across town. Probably lose 3 hours just trying to, an hour's worth of driving back and forth here and there, an hour at one store, that kind of thing. 30 minutes at one store, 30 minutes the other, that kind of thing. So this is how this was printed. It was printed laying down like this in sections. So, different sections here. But, using less filament, less plastic, less material than the original ones. And printed cleaner, printed better. Okay, good. The thing about PVB is that, and the other reason why I like it, besides the smoothing aspect, is that when you use it, you don't need glue. You can just use alcohol. And if you have two PVB items together, the alcohol will fuse them when it dries. And then you'll have one part because it's fused. And if you mix something like PLA or ABS and you have something around it like PVB, then the alcohol will not fuse, but it will really grab that other plastic and not let go. So it's kind of like gluing in that sense. Almost there. I already got it down. Okay. Gosh. So many items that need to be put away. And I'm trying to preserve it, so I can continue. If I didn't care about any of this stuff, I would have just grabbed it, and chucked it into the trash bin or something like that. Easy to get rid of kind of thing, just easy. Or I would have, the whole VSS has to go, that kind of thing. Come pick it up if you live locally. And but I don't have the time for that. Hope that someone, thinks about it, weighs it in their mind. Is it worth going and picking it up? Do I have a truck? Do I have the vehicle to transport it? And then the other thing is I want to continue. Oh, yeah. I remember what I was saying before. Is that, Well, let me see about putting these things away first. I remember what I was saying before. Maybe this won't fit. Yeah, this may not fit. This bag is long. I guess I'll have to use the other kind of bags for it. So what I was saying before is that this is good stuff. Is that for the VSS that I will be doing over there, I am going to be doing it as instead of MDF wood with foam board or future board as they sell it over there. I'm not quite sure what is over here, but I've seen it at Home Depot. It's a plastic. I don't want anything to damage these. It's a plastic that's it's a corrugated plastic, and it's sandwiched in between two layers of plastic, kind of like corrugated cardboard. And I can 3D print a frame, basically make a tile. Let's say 1 foot square. Have screw locations, so I can put another tile next to it. I can do it so it's a hexagon, and do a hexagon pattern or something, something that I can make the shapes, any shape that is needed, and then I can put them together. Let's say square, so I can put them together, and I can rebuild the VSS in a modular way. And maybe there might be something in the future for that, in terms of a VSS version 2 or something. I don't know. I'll have to talk to Victor Garcia and hear what he has to say. But yeah, you can make spaceships basically with that particular thing. If you wanted to, it could be, for example, give you an example. A system like that, you can have a single engine VSS, 1 foot square, coming out, and then tapering out to 2 feet. This is basically 2 feet, and so 2 feet can go in a direction. And then if you wanted to, you can have the thing taper back to 1 foot and taper to a sharper nose, and you could put a bridge in there, so you could have a smaller spaceship kind of structure. You can take the tiles and you can organize it so it's longer. You could have, let's say, a foot, let's say 1.5 feet, or you can do it in such a way where you have 1 foot and then you have the 2 feet, but done in such a way where it's not quite 2 feet across. And you can have a longer spacecraft, or you can go, 4 feet across or 3 feet across, and you can have multiple engines. Or you can do it so you have engine on top, stacked on top of each other. So you have 1, 2, and then it can be tall, and then it can taper down and become more slimmer, or something lower. So it's very doable. In any case, the VSS itself will be back. I gotta put this under. So the VSS itself will be back. It's just getting all of the insides over there that I can use again. There's all sorts of ideas that does come to my mind. These were done in Thailand. They're going to go back to Thailand. I'm not quite sure yet, but they were done in Thailand. I think what I might do is get rid of these gray ones. They're not quite finished yet. That's why they never went on sale at the store. I'll show you in just a moment. But you see the parts here that is open. It was to have a small acrylic plastic clear to just be like glass, and then I was just going to put back paper or some sort of grill inside, and and but then when I came back from Thailand and I did these, instead of doing it in gray, I decided to take advantage of a higher quality filament. And the higher quality one, I'm using PVB, the filament can be smooth. And if I do it in white, it'll be easier to paint in white and keep it in black. And then I was thinking, well, Cobra, kind of looks good if all the consoles could be standardized in black. Maybe the neon green display. But then I started to consider other color combinations. Black consoles with, very dark gray, I guess console faces, and using, chrome pen. I got one of these Molotow, it's pronounced Molotow, liquid chrome. Very good stuff. And I was watching Adam Savage's test it on YouTube, and he likes it. So I decided to try it. Kind of expensive, but money well worth it. So it comes on extremely chromy. And of course, that means that if you get the light just right, it will gleam. And then it'll look like things that are, on. And if you color some of the chrome with some translucent color paints, red, yellow, green, things like that, you could have a series of buttons, some glowing red, some glowing green. And if you put a layer of UV ink, and you could get these UV ink pens, they come in different colors. You could shine a little bit of UV light with, like a little flashlight, and that will illuminate the UV in there. Unfortunately, you don't want to do that too long because, figures are done in plastics that usually are not very friendly for UV, or plastics in general usually don't like UV, But the 3D printed stuff, especially those that are kind of protected with a layer of paint, they tend to last decently even with UV light. It's the figures that I have more concern about. I really need a place to put these. Let me put this one away. This one is going to go to someone, I think. Okay, now I got these things to deal with. I need a small bag for these. I believe I was using some, but not for that specifically. Do we have an Amazon bag box that is nice enough that we can just put this instead of waiting for March 1st? Too bad. I'll do just. I'm just thinking that. Just distracted with other thoughts. 3 by 3. Okay, I got a 4x4 bag. Okay, maybe I should put this in a 3x3 bag instead. I think I'll be able to take these with me to Thailand. I am going to be moving piece by piece the figures to Thailand. I don't know which figures will be the first ones to go, but definitely have an army of figures. Oh, I guess it has to be bigger then. Let me try the 4x4. So I do have an army to move. And the scary things is there's vehicles that need to be moved too. I haven't even touched on those. So most likely what's going to end up happening is I am going to need to get some sort of storage that I can put two kinds of shipments in there. One shipment is going to be for shipping to Thailand later. This one I won't be able to just, okay. And the other is going to have to be shipped to, this is really tight in there. The other is going to have to be shipped to Texas. And once in Texas, they could be shipped later or whatever, whatever. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this one here, I have little tabs so it can be slid out. They're not glued, so I have to be careful about how I angle these. I hope I don't break anything. Maybe I shouldn't bother to. Yeah, okay, good. I don't believe I glued anything. Yeah, so the quality of the Creality filaments that I used in Thailand as a test, I'm not too happy with them. Well, you know what? Yeah, well, I think I can. Yeah, I can remove that one. Oh, this is a thin piece. I'm quite nervous about damaging the plastics here because, if I use these for photos on a zoomed up shot, the photos are going to look kind of bad. Okay, I got one more to do on this console right after this one. So I got two actually. I got this one, but I'm just kind of just trying to get the knife in there to kind of work it out. I don't think this is going to be doable. No, I think this one I'm going to leave in place. How about the top? Yeah, I think I could do the top. Yeah. Okay. And then this one. I think some of these I'm just going to leave in place because they're quite tight. Yeah, I'm just going to leave these in place. Okay. Let's see, you need a plastic bag. Well, I am getting a little bit tired of working on this one, so what I'm going to do is probably eat something and then resume. Can I? Yeah. This one is going to just have to be like this. And then I guess the other I can just put it like this. Yeah, I got the 6-inch HISS tank that needs to come with me too. No way I'm getting rid of that. So moving over there is not going to be just here's just one trip, because there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be put away, prepared to get shipped. And the number one enemy we have here is time. There really is very little time right now to do all of this. We got the house that is this place that's like it's a blend of two people, and it's quite unrealistic to think just leave it to one person to filter everything out. It's you got a house that's built from the work of two people over years, and just to empty it out within days. Even if it's a month, it's still days. It's very inconsiderate, very this goes to another piece. Very uncaring. Okay, this goes to this. Well, what I think I can do is put some more items within, kind of like use some of these props to kind of shield. Do I have small little machines that can go in here? No? Okay, then I'm just going to take this, kind of start putting what I can in these bags to fill up space. Okay, I think this can go out here. Let's see. Now, let's see. Oh yeah, I need a bigger bag for that too. I thought I had, more flags. Okay, so I gotta put this over here. Okay. This can go here. A little bit easier without the top part. I hope nothing breaks. Oh gosh. This has little handles. I guess I can try to put this like there. Yeah. Back there. Okay. Oh, I see. I used a screw to... Oh, okay. Let me move this out of the way now. Oh yeah, I gotta get something to eat. I'm getting hungry. But almost done in terms of the floors here, and then I'll stop and I'll move to something else. But I just need to get the floor things here done, and then I'll get something to eat, and then I'll continue off camera most likely. Okay, so there. Yeah, this. Okay, just put it there for the moment. There. Okay, let's see. So like I said yesterday that I have things designed with magnets. Here's another piece that was done for the handrails, where with the magnets all I have to do is just have them connected by handrail. Oh, that doesn't make sense. I had handrails on magnets, so I can just simply remove the handrails to reach in and manipulate. How am I going to do this? Okay, take that. And where did this go? This one had, oh, there it is. Okay. I think this is all of the floor connectors type things that I used. So, okay, this can get sealed up, put there. Oh gosh. Okay. When I first did this VSS, I was using glue, and so on some of the walls I have items, greebles that were glued on. Since then, I moved on to screws and things. But in the meantime, I have greebles that were glued on, so I'm not going to spend time taking them off. The other thing is the watertight doors that I have, the frames were glued on. So I don't have, I may have to lose those doors, unless I can knife it off. But we'll see. I need my little knife again. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the magnets work. Knocked over a chair. Okay, so that's and then these little greeble things. Okay, that can go there. So I got. Do I have another bag for this? Yes. Okay. Um, thinking, you know. Okay. I guess I'm going to run out of this bag. Yeah, too bad I'm running out of bags. Okay, this here. So I don't have much to say anymore. Kind of running out of ideas to talk about.
Hungry.
Yeah, I am getting hungry.
Which one you want?
Torbilli is fine. We could clear that out. Yeah, we got Olive Garden yesterday, and that's good. Because we don't have to cook. All we have to do is just warm it up. Yeah, where's the other bag for this? Did I take it out already? I may have taken it out. I'll put this here. Yeah, I'll put this here for the moment. You know, the other little sad thing is, you know, we were building up a little garden. Now that I got to find someone who will take care, who will keep the plants. Kind of glad we don't have pets because that will be well. I guess you know people can always travel with a pet. There's a but we're going on United Airlines, and United doesn't have a good reputation for keeping pets alive. Apparently, I don't know how true that is, so I guess I'll have to say that's my opinion. All I know is, you know, I come across articles, but then again, too, you know, maybe the articles are just biased against United Airlines. Maybe they're, or maybe the search that I'm, you know, reading is not really talking about other airlines. They're just talking about one. So I guess I should hold off and not say anything about that. so I guess I'll just say, you know, it is my opinion, and well, it is my opinion. But still, it's the same. You know, we don't have to worry about traveling with a pet. So at least that's good. Because the other thing that's difficult is finding a place over there in Bangkok that is pet friendly. Okay. Sorry. So this is what I'm doing. I'm disassembling this floor piece here. You can see it's got greebles underneath. So I'm just separating the grapes for them. Now you can see. And they were they were done with a bit of silver paint, so that way the light will, play well. That's the reason why I was doing with some silver. Not everything, obviously. These 3D printed stuff, they're done in gray. First of all, there's a lot of it, so if I do everything with a bit of silver, it's going to look tacky. So it's just enough silver to function as highlights. I got to figure out why. How did I do this? Okay, it's just a peg. The bad thing about traveling, moving to another country like this, is I won't be able to attend Joe Fest. And Joe Fest is a pretty nice convention. I really like it. Oh, wait, no, okay. So these are done with magnets right here. Let me just put this down. So the idea, a rail would have been connected to these little slots. You can kind of see it a little bit here. And then if I ever need to remove the rails, I can just, looks like the plastic wants to stick. Okay, so it's got magnets, so the idea is that I could just, put the rails on there or change it so it has other kinds of rails. Okay, almost done here. I just got to put things in bags. I suppose there's going to be a miscellaneous bag. You can see I've got LED lighting inside. Very little glue. I don't need to undo the screws. Okay, thank you. So food is ready, so I'm going to just wrap this up. So everything can be attached. So that's why I designed these with these openings like this, is that the idea is that I can just use them as ports to attach other things. So everything that I did on these floors and beams, bulkheads, and all that was done with modular in mind. Openings here so I could put screw and nuts. So if something needs to get secured on there, done with some screws. Now these items were kind of incomplete, so I was working on these, but I'll have to break them down with the screws. I was using pegs on the top. I may have glued them. This part may have glued. There are some styrene pegs. I'm not gonna fight them to separate. I think I'm just gonna separate the screws here. You can see, down inside there. So I'm going to leave that afterwards. After I eat, I'm going to go ahead and eat something first. Okay. more custom throw plates, custom frame to really put some strength into it. I guess I could keep this together. This one here, using like a little locking mechanism to kind of keep the beams together. Just want to get this done so I can progress a little bit before go eat. Okay, and then just slide these out. Just simple as like that. Now, like I said, it's got LED lights inside. Okay. Oh, one more. No LED inside here. How about that? We'll have to fix that up. Okay. And that's about it. Just floor stuff here that just needs to get undone, and that's it really. So these plastic stuff goes here. Well, okay, so that's basically it. I just got two more tiles like this that I just have to pull off the grills, and then put all of these just into a bag, and then it becomes a matter of working on the engine room. I may do a video on that maybe after I eat, because it's actually worth talking about the video for that. And once that's done, then I can move a lot faster. I can, it's just a matter of putting props into bags, organizing the bags so into larger bags, put those into a box so they're protected, and then put those into a shipping box, which hasn't arrived yet. So I'll probably put those in a large plastic Foot Locker. And when the boxes do arrive, then I'll be able to put those into that. And then I'll have a bunch of plastic Foot Locker boxes that I can put other things in. So I will do another video while it's still daylight. And it will be working on clearing out this, disassembling this. Some of this is the old from the first VSS version that I did. So some of those I cannot, save because it was done in plastic. It was glued. The plastics were glued. But the newer stuff, I can undo the screws and save those. And then you'll see what I have remaining from the first version, which I took to JoeFest, and you'll see how that is now. Unfortunately, that one is going to have to go all into the dumpster. So, all right. Thank you for watching this version, this instance, and I will continue after I eat with another video. All right. Thank you. Catch y'all later.